This is NDTV, and you're watching Classics.
Well, hello and welcome to India Questions. Today we have a really young audience, average age, about 21 or so.
Looks like about.
College students from all over the country who've come to question a person who's arguably the second most powerful man in the world, the American Secretary of State, Mr. Colin Powell. Thank you very much for being with us, sir.
Well, thank you very much. It's a great pleasure to be with you and to have this opportunity to talk to the young people of India, the future leaders of India. Back home in the United States, as Secretary of State, but before I became Secretary of State, when I was working with youth programs, I used to go around the country speaking to young people from ages 6 all the way up to 18 or 22. And I enjoy this kind of audience more than I do appearing before my Congress or appearing on normal television shows. One, because your questions are almost always direct to the heart of an issue. They're candid, they're open, they're honest. And so the rules for this session is you can ask anything you want. You can ask about policy, you can ask about me, you can ask about anything you want. You get to pick the question. But remember, I get to pick the answer.
But they can't answer as well.
But it is a great pleasure, and I'm so pleased to be back in India. My previous visits here in India were during times of great tension, crisis, when people were worried about possibility of conflict. But now I'm here at a time when people are talking about peace. We're talking about economic and trade issues for most of the day, not tension and conflict and the likelihood of war. And I think this is a tribute to the leaders, a tribute to your Prime Minister and the members of his government, a tribute to President Musharraf, but really a tribute to the desire on the part of the Indian people to find a way forward, to find a way toward lasting peace in this part of the world. And for you young people, it's especially important that you be advocates for peace as well, because it's your country that you're going to be inheriting and leading. I mean, you are the future of India. And you have to be committed to open trade, you have to be committed to peace, you have to be committed to creating a better life for all the people of India. In this, you will find that the United States is a partner, a strategic partner, a friend. You and I together here today represent the two greatest democracies in the face of the earth, the oldest and the largest. And so it's my pleasure to represent my democracy to the leaders of the great Indian democracy, to be the young people of India.
Both going to elections this year, right?
That's
Can
right.
I just start with not a voice for the future? I'll ask the first questions while they all warm up. And that is, after the Iraq War, there's been a kind of general anti-Americanism, that's the phrase being used, that's spreading across. It's a love-hate relationship that people have. They love the way of life of America. I think it's summed up in that phrase, Yankee, go home, but take me with you. That's the... is America aware of this general anti-Americanism post-Iraq War, and are you going to do anything? Do you care about it?
No, we do care about it, and we are very mindful of the fact that the action we took to get rid of a dictator in Baghdad was not universally applauded. And in fact, in many countries, there was a negative public reaction to what we were doing. We also are aware that part of the anti-American attitude that exists, particularly in the Muslim world, has to do with the crisis between Israel and the Palestinians, and the desire on the part of many people to have the Americans solve this just by going in and saying it's solved. Unfortunately, the problem doesn't lend itself to that kind of an easy solution. With respect to Iraq, I think that over time, as people see that a democracy is being created, that people are living a better life, that a dictator is gone, a dictator who did gas his own people in 1988 on this very day, I think. Some 16 years ago, he killed 5,000 of his own people using chemical weapons. He filled mass graves. That isn't going to happen anymore. The people of Iraq are now debating with each other, trying to form a democratic system. We're going to help them. We're going to help them rebuild their country. And when I see that this progress is steady and is going forward. And when I can see a democracy being put in place, I think the rest of the world will be able to see it as well. And they will recognize that we have done something good and we've changed Iraq for the better, we've changed the region for the better. And I hope at that time attitudes will shift. America has always had this problem of people looking at us, a great superpower and economic power, political power, with a combination of respect, but also some resentment. And we try very hard with our public diplomacy programs to get on top of that, to explain to people around the world that we do not, yeah, we do care, we care very much. And to try to convey the message to people that we are not looking for enemies, we are not looking for places to invade. We are looking for alliances, we are looking for partners, we're looking for people who are interested in pursuing peace. We're looking for people who want to work with us to defeat HIV/AIDS. We want to put more money into the development of countries that are desperately in need of education systems, of infrastructure systems.